revolution.
Well, hello there. Back again for another message. It's getting on. I've got my light on as I have a walk down my Hobbit route. As you go to the thick of it, it'll get a bit darker, so I've got the light. I've got my, I don't know the name of it, but it's like the light to light things up. But yeah, I just thought I'd get back on for another message. Try not to be too long on this one. I know the last three have been close to an hour, almost just over an hour. But yeah, so it's been sort of like 3 years now since I've had absolutely nothing to do with that psycho from the Ukraine. Nothing at all. And while at the same time this lunatic has been going around just spreading all kinds of lies, just talking out of its arse, you know what I mean? It's very disingenuous. It's not an honest person by any means, not by any stretch of the imagination, right? Imagination. But anyway, right? So like, they've like infiltrated this thing that's possessed, basically. This transgender, this secret tranny that I want absolutely nothing to do with. Never spoke to, never had anything at all to do with them in the flesh. Never had a human conversation face to face. It's always tried to pretend to be someone on fake accounts, or try to be this, or try to be that, and you know, it's just a fraud. It's a child in an adult's body. Do you know what I mean? It's not someone you should ever trust. It's certainly someone you should never depend on or place any faith in, because this is a malignant narcissist. It's borderline schizophrenic. It is a sociopath, and it will say and do anything to, win by any means necessary. So this freak has basically, it's collaborated with family, right? A big fat whale who was exactly the same as the secret tranny from the Ukraine, who, by the way, I might add, because as you know, as I've spoken in previous videos, these cults, these covens, these secret societies, right? Not only are they into like child sacrifice, animal sacrifice, paedophilia, bestiality, you know what I mean, like gay sex and like swinging and all that, but they're also into incest. So it's like, they like having sex with the family and all that. And well, Arscrack, the one half of the docile duo of Arscrack and Camel Toe, well, turns out that Arscrack's dad's a pedo, and he was the first person to break in Arscrack, right? And from there, that kind of trauma, you know what I mean, has turned Arscrack into just a slut. It's just a bike, do you know what I mean, which now is carrying all kinds of incurable STDs, which it's in denial about, because at the end of the day, as I've stated, it's a pathological liar. It doesn't know how to how to speak truth into this world. It's just a sexual deviant of deceptive means that is prepared to say and do anything, and I mean anything, to get what it wants. And it's never worked with me, and this has pushed this lunatic into crazy, crazy land, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? This has really amped up Psycho Jane's imagination. Imagination. But anyway, right, so, right.
Imagination.
Are you gonna take us somewhere or not?
So it's like, it suffers from abandonment issues, and my rejection after everything that he tried to do to us, it's just destroyed them. Like, just like my rejection of my family, it's destroyed them, because they're all like have teamed up together to try and plan my suicide, because I've been placed into a fraudulent marriage. But anyway, but as I was saying, so this psycho has infiltrated my friends. It's teamed up with my family, and they've all teamed together, right? Because I was left in inheritance, which they're trying to steal from us, which they went to probate court, which all happened during COVID in 2021. And well, probate, you don't really need a lot of people there. You just need the judge, the bench judge, the solicitor or the lawyer or whatever you want, and fucking like the will and whoever else who's there to try and fucking scam you out of it. So you know what I mean? There's it was all done behind closed doors. There was no, well, if any documentation was sent out, the court clerk was bribed to make sure it was sent to a different address other than the address that I currently reside in, because I'm telling you now, it's very easy for like loan sharks, like loan credit companies and things like that. You know what I mean? Where the debt gets written off and it goes to like creditors. They fucking know where you live, because like if you're opening up bank accounts and you're having things delivered to your address and things like that, it all gets documented and they can check that all up. It's like, especially on the electoral roll and things like that. So believe me, the judicial system can fucking find out where you are. So they need corrupt people within that system to ensure that they send any letters that's informing me of any inheritance or trust fund or land, you know what I mean, houses, things like that, properties, stocks, bonds, a fucking oil field, you know, things like that, you know what I mean, has been left to us. They need a corrupt court clerk, and let's face it, the British judicial system, as well as the USA judicial system, as well as the judicial system of the Western world, it's just fucking corrupt. Because there's a lot of people, I'm not saying all are bad, of course not, but there's a lot of these people, these influential people such as judges, barristers, lawyers, solicitors, doctors, nurses, you know, things like coroners, funeral directors. There's a lot of them are part of these secret societies, and it's generational. Do you know what I mean? So like their father before them, their mother before them, whether it's like Eastern Stars or Freemasons or fucking Knights of Malta, things like that, you know what I mean? The Illuminati, who aren't really that fucking far up the chain. You do realise it. Like the Jesuits and the Rosicrucians sit higher than the fucking Illuminati. And you know, the Jesuits they've just been renamed. They used to be the Knights Templar, you know what I mean? You know, these bankers, that's what they ended up being, like moneylenders, moved into usury to help finance the pilgrimage, because they weren't actually the Crusades. They just became the Crusades as time moved on. But at the time when it was happening with King Richard and the likes, it was a pilgrimage from here to the Middle East to, you know what I mean, to battle with all the Saracens and Saladin and you know, and things like that, right? There was you were a pilgrim, and you went on a pilgrimage, and you were fighting for King Richard, whether you were a knight or just a commoner who would just pledge themselves to the king to fight the Saracen, you know what I mean? In the Holy Wars, they only got renamed later in our history, because they always tinkering with it. You see, like the Dark Ages weren't really the Dark Ages; they were anything but. But when you've got I'll get it right. When you've got controllers and puppet masters, and they're having the strings pulled, like people who win wars write history, and if they want to eradicate a part of history that they want no one else to know because they're trying to keep us enslaved, they're trying to keep us into a usury system of consumerism. You know what I mean? Whereby you are the consumer and not the creator. They want to keep you imprisoned. They want to keep your mind imprisoned. They want to keep you dumbed down, and so they'll fucking rewrite history to suit their needs in order to keep you enslaved in a matrix type system as a prisoner on this prison planet or prison plane, depending on how you want to look at it, because we told so many lies to keep us divided so they can conquer and rule by dividing us, like with the Hegelian dialectic. You know what I mean? Problem, reaction, solution. And they're behind it all. They're behind the problem. They're behind what causes the reaction, and they themselves in the end provide the solution that only ever benefits them, and you're triggered and bamboozled and confused into playing a part into that until you become worn down and beaten, because that's what they do. They try to weigh you down until you're on your knees, and then you'll basically accept what they have on offer. You know what I mean? For you to accept. But if you stay strong and fight back, well, then they don't win. And if you stay united, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what colour skin you are, right? We're all human, right? We're all part of the human race. That's one race. We may have different cultures. We may have different ways of doing things in different parts of the world. But we're all identified as human, correct? And we're all part of the human race, correct? One race. Unity. Unite and fucking fight against these oppressors who try to divide and conquer, and always keeping us at war with each other, as if skin colour actually matters, when we're all spiritual beings having a human experience, and we're all one consciousness observing each other subjectively. It's like there's one person who clearly has a problem with the reality is that we all are one, right? We all are one consciousness observing each other subjectively. If someone has a problem, he's like, oh, we're all one, are we? And straight away he's like going androgyny and like trying to like use Luciferian doctrine as a rebuttal to an argument of being one conscious mind. So essentially, right, consciousness, if you sort of like view conscious as a frequency, right? Kind of like how you have cell towers sending out information, right? And then you have your phones with the aerial, the receiver, to receive that information. Well, consciousness acts in the same way. It's just one consciousness sending out information that our brains receive and process, right? And the more awake you are, the more tapped in you are to source, the more information and more downloads you'll receive. But if you're just going to close off your mind and just like, you know what I mean, like, oh, well, there's no independence, there's no difference. Well, yes, there is, right? So when we come to this earthly plane, right, we're given free will, correct? Right? We're allowed to develop our own character through free will, through making good or bad choices as we move through our existence on this earthly plane, having a human experience, correct? And so, yeah, we're allowed to develop our own points of views, our own independence, and we're allowed to make choices based on free will, because that's what we're here for. We're here to learn, right? And so when you come to this realm and you inhabit this vessel, no matter what it is, whether you're Western, Middle Eastern, Far East, and the nationalities within the continents on this earthly plane, right? You are here to grow and experience things. In order to do that, you are given free will by the Creator to make your choices. So whether they are good or bad, do you know what I mean? It's an experience that you learn, and you will either gain good karma or bad karma through those experiences. And so when you come here, yes, you have independence. You can be an independent person who thinks independently. But the trouble is, most of the people who come here get trapped into the matrix system and become part of the hive mind. And so think like fucking sheeps. And they have someone like me and people like me and like myself who think outside of the box, who try to wake people up. Well, you know, the powers that be just don't like people like us. That's why they're trying to digitize everything, digital fucking money, identity cards, and then they flooding the West with people from the Middle East after we fucking bombed and pillaged their countries, right? So when they come in here, they're not going to be very happy, right? And they're going to fucking bring them all in and flood our country with them by giving them like 5-star treatment, and the people that concerned citizens of their own countries, respectively, in the West, are treated like second-class citizens and are considered far-right extremists just for having an opinion, just for having concerns. And what they're going to do is they're going to keep on flooding the Western world with the boat people and the likes coming in from, like, you know, the poorer countries in the Middle East and wherever you are, like such as South America. If you're over like further in North America, South America, you've got people coming in there from different angles, whether you're coming from Canada downwards or the south upwards. They're coming across the borders and they're flooding like the likes of America, and they're doing that in the UK across the Channel. Because, you know, the French, they've always been pushovers, haven't they? They love a strike. They love a strike and they like retreating, you know what I mean? But that's just a hysterical jibe, do you know what I mean? No, nothing malicious intended. It's just, you know, our history with the French is not the greatest at the end of the day. But they're bringing them over to the 12-mile mark, and then our sort of rescue services are bringing them back to mainland UK, and we house them in 4- and 5-star hotels. And basically the point is they're going to flood the country with them, and then they're going to introduce identity cards and have it all set up digitally to your health, your finances, your personal spendings, to build up a profile on you, which will then bring about the social credit scoring system like they do in China. So if you are someone who has a rebel spirit and is against such things, you're going to be shut off. They'll shut off your money. You know what I mean? They want total control. I mean, just my experience, right, of dealing with psychopaths who are hell-bent on controlling others, and the lengths that they're prepared to go to infringe upon your rights, to invade your privacy, to try and, like, you know, enter themselves into your life by force, to the point where it's supposed to have like a negative impact, to the point where it's supposed to make you act out irrationally and aggressively, which gives them the impetus to press charges or have you arrested or have you sectioned or whatever. Do you know what I mean? For whatever, for antisocial behaviour, for mental health reasons, things like that. But the thing is, though, those plans have failed. I'm stronger now mentally than what I was when they first started. But anyway, right, so sort of drifted off the path there. But so this psycho from the Ukraine has teamed up with family, infiltrated my friends. They've all fucking caved in. They couldn't do what I've done because they fucking sold out before they even got to the first hurdle. That's how, and like, people I've known for years just believed the lies that was told about us by someone who we've never had anything to do with. I don't know them in person. And they're just pathological liars who just lie, right? In fact, right, I'll give you a bit of a future prediction here, right? So these will eventually get taken in for questioning, right? There will be a wealth of evidence built up, right? Photographic evidence, video evidence, paper trail, digital trail. These people are messy. They're not as clever as what they think they are. They just are they're white supremacists who believe they can say and do whatever they want, and that they are above the law, and that no one will stop them from committing crimes and doing as they please, right? And these people have gotten away with it for like a long time, right? And so they now just think they are untouchable, they have a God complex, and they're never going to be arrested or taken in for questioning or whatever. But when they are going to be arrested, and they will be taken in for questioning. They will be presented with overwhelming amounts of evidence, right, against them committing all these crimes, whether it's paper, digital, photographic, or video evidence, audio, everything, right? And it's going to be presented to them, right? And they're going to sit there, right? And they're like, "It's not me. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not me. That's not me in Conmar. That's not me at the ATM. That's not me walking around shops buying purchases with a credit card that I've taken out in someone else's name. That's not me going to a bank account and withdrawing cash from a bank account that's not in my name. That's not my overseas account in someone else's name that I set up with a dodgy bank manager and offshore accounts. I mean, I didn't have anything to do with an insurance salesperson who's part of my secret society or cult coven that set up a life insurance policy for me to try and set up a family member, whether it's a planned suicide, murder, but looks like natural causes. Do you know what I mean? That's not me. I didn't do that. There's all kinds of wildlife down here. You know what I mean? And like the detectives will just be looking at them just like, "Are you fucking? You're not all fucking there, are you really? Are you? You're not fucking, like, you're not, you know, it's like what your brother said. Like, you fucked in the head, aren't you? Like, you live in a fucking fantasy land. Every day it's a different Disney movie with you. Reality is not real. Fantasy is very real. It's all fantastical. Where you're the fucking Cinderella wearing the slipper. Yeah? You're the fucking princess or the prince. You rule your kingdom. You know what I mean? And they're that far gone because like in their minds, right? They believe that the black magic that they do works, right? And maybe in their mind, it has worked. I mean, I'm just explaining you it from their fucked up psychology. Do you know what I mean? Their fucked up mind, their warped mind. They believe like, and maybe at some point it did, right? Because like, there's obviously people in there where they're paying people money to do things to like NPCs and non-player characters, whereby if they have been left in inheritance, or they do have some wealth, or they do have land and property, or if they do come up with groundbreaking inventions and things like that, you know, that and like they pay people to take them out, or to make it look like natural causes, or like a heart attack, or torture them to the point where the person themselves takes themselves out, and they can then claim on this life insurance, or take those patents and ideas, shelve them and keep them for future when they've like squeezed every penny of profit out of what else they've been pushing. Do you know what I mean? And like these people, these parasites, they have been doing this for a long time. They have been getting away with it, and naturally they convinced themselves that I was just like everyone else that they've been attacking and taking out and targeting, right? Because the methods that they've been trying were tested and true on a certain type of person, on a certain profile. And as it turns out, there's a big percentage of people in this world who are like that, and so it's been very easy for them to execute these strategies, these plans, with minimal pushback, with minimal like problematic reactions. You know, they haven't come across an anomaly like me that's really fucking up their system of organised crime, whether it's in government or the private sector. But both of them are combined. They work in unison. They work in tandem, in hand, you know. And well, this is really messing with them, you see. And and they having a fucking problem with that, and it's really fucking with their heads. And like they go and they've went to the best types of practitioners you can think of, you know, that can take people out, who have successfully taken people out, which has allowed them to amass and accrue vast amounts of wealth through them being thieving and robbing bastards. Do you know what I mean? And they have got away with this for a long time. But what they hadn't counted on was an encounter with someone like me, because these people worship Lucifer, the Satan, the great accuser, the great adversary. Yeah, it's a title. Satan's a title. The Satan. It's ancient Hebrew, Ha-Satan, or Ha-Satan. It's just a title, the Satan. And you ask any theologian, a Bible scholar, they'll tell you that the Satan is a title. And all fallen angels are considered as the Satan, because they're the accusers, the aggressors, they're the people who turned against God and rebelled. But anyway, they were paying all kinds of fucking people, right, to try and take me out. And it's just got them shit scared, because, as I say, they hadn't counted on an encounter with me, or someone who was favoured by the Most High God, because, as I say, they all believe in Lucifer, they believe in fallen angels, but somehow they don't believe the Most High exists, when all these fallen angels fell from heaven because they were cast out due to rebellion. Whether they're the Watchers or the Lucifer, was it the 33 and a third? It's like over 200 fallen angels, maybe more, fell to earth, was cast out of heaven. But like, these people who worship Lucifer don't believe in God. It's like the irony. They believe in Lucifer, but they don't believe in the Most High God. And they've been, well, you know, Lucifer is the father of lies. He is the great accuser and the great adversary and the great architect. And he who is not, what is it? Who is not, what was it? What is it they say in the Illuminati? He who was not arrived, or something like that. But basically, the Antichrist, Lucifer, shit like that. And they've convinced themselves that Lucifer is the only one true God, with a small g, because, like, you know, at the end of the day, archangels are demigods. Do you know what I mean? They've all been bestowed gifts and abilities from the Most High. And we all get sent here, right, on this earthly plane, to live out a human experience. And we're put here at certain points in time when there's going to be, like, a great event that is biblical, right? And like, these people in power, these higher ups, they actually, well, they know about me and people like me darted around the world, and we're persecuted and tried to keep in poverty, so we don't ascend and we don't sort of manifest our true purpose, right? But at the end of the day, right, I'm getting a little bit too deep there, but right, I'm here for a purpose. These people in power know that. They've known since I was first came out of the womb, and I've been put in with a family of fucking Luciferians, devil worshippers, or whatever you want to call, Satanists, whatever you want to class or quantify it as, right? And they're all part of secret societies and covens and witches and fucking warlocks. Things that I just thought you just watched in movies, but like everything, like every myth and legend, it's based on truth. And it's all about energy manipulation and things like that, and it only works if you vibrate at their level. Once you move out of that and you have a positive frame of mind, you can't touch you, and they can't get their heads around that. But they thought I was an easy target. It's a bit fucking long-winded, this, but there's so much fucking information coming that I'm trying to get it all out. So, and they were convinced by a pair of fucking idiots that they could get a job done, because I'm just like everybody else they've targeted, and it'll be so easy for them to, like, put me in a false marriage, right? Pay a bench judge, the same arsehole judge that was present at the probate court when he robbed us of my fucking inheritance, my land, stocks and bonds, oil field, everything, right? the same cunt who thought, oh well, you know, I'm getting paid for it. These are fairly consistent in fucking murdering people for inheritances and so on and so forth. This, that and the other. So I got put in a fucking fraudulent marriage for them then to take out a life insurance policy on me by some cunt who works in an insurance company that's a part of this fucking cult coven of secret society, as well as a real estate agent and things like that, right? And Asscrack and Camel Toe were so confident, right? Like kissing the asses of these upper authorities, right? Oh, we can do this, we can do that. He's weak, he's incompetent, he's fucking crazy, he doesn't look after himself, he can't manage finances, he's a drug addict, he's a drug dealer, he's a prostitute, he's this, that and everything fucking. Basically, they're talking about themselves and trying to project that bullshit onto me, which has failed miserably. And so they gave assurances to these higher-ups in this paedophile organisation, right? Oh, sorry. Secret society that's full of fucking pedos. Anyway, right, so, well, as you can see, all this bravado, all this chicanery, shenanigans, this fucking, this sales pitch that they tried to sell the higher-ups in the pedo organisation was just bullshit. Because that's all they are. They're just bullshit artists. They talk out the fucking asses. You know what I mean? They don't have an honest bone in the body. They couldn't lie straight in bed. Do you know what I mean? Like, they are literally useless. They have the Jezebel spirit, so the whores, right? They'll fucking sleep in line with everything. And generally, most men will fucking nail in a tree. If you put lipstick on a pig and have a pair of tits and a rubber minge, they'll put it in whatever hole you fucking want. Because most men aren't picky. They'll take what they can get when they can get it, however they can get it. Do you know what I mean? And if it's presented to them in whatever fucking form or fashion, they're going to jump on and go for a ride. You know what I mean? And there are a lot out there, as I say, and then they just thought that I was exactly the same as everybody else. They thought they knew me so well. I mean, one of them I don't even know, and the other fat fucking idiot, Camel Toe, I've never had anything to do with them for over 9 years now. That's been the best fucking 9 years of my life, not having that fat, horrible, ugly fucking prostitute who's been with many, many men, and many, many women, and many, many children, and fucking animals, and you name it, family members, their own fucking kids, you name it, they've done it. And like, they're all getting into fake marriages because they know this fake judge, and they keep paying them to fucking give like marriage certificates to people to try and fake that they're in a marriage. It's like, look, you can post your fake marriage all over fucking social media as much as you want. I know you know fucking Ben Judge who'll accept cash bribes to fucking write your marriage certificate out whether you're fucking still in the marriage or not. And that's what you've all been doing because you're all fucking black widows. You're all into fucking having sex with rich and wealthy people or people who have fucking inheritances come, and you're trying to like romance scam them and get into relationships and try and get to marry them and things like that, so you can like accrue their wealth or try and kill them off. Do you know what I mean? Right? But like I say, the fat cunts, it'll sleep with anything. Do you know what I mean? But even so, right, what I'm hearing is, right, even though they've had that many penises inside them and they've had the mouth on so many pink rugs, they still load of fucking shite in bed, especially the fat one, Camel Toe. I've heard she's fucking useless. Even after all the fucking men and women it's fucking had, it's still a fucking load of shite in bed. So, well, you know what I mean? It's never been good at fucking anything. And and the one thing you think you're good at, you're not even fucking good at that. You know what I mean? You literally are the fucking booby prize. The bargain bucket basement fucking pointless fucking gift that's given at Christmas. It's like, oh, it's like, thanks, sir. I'll give it away to charity or just bin it. That's what you are. That you just put it in the bin. Just put it in the fucking bin. You're fucking useless. It's like, what the fuck do I need this for? What do I fucking need this for? Just put it in the bin. It's just fucking, just thank them be nice and polite, you know, there's no need to be nasty, just thank them and then just put it in the fucking bin or take it outside and put it in the fucking fire and set fire to the cunt. Right? And they so they've encountered so many weak, sexually vulnerable men who are easily seduced. Do you know what I mean? Tickle the balls and they're all yours. And they thought, right? They thought I was exactly the fucking same. I mean, this from people who engage in incest anyway. I mean, Arscrack's dad was the first one to break it in. Before it had its up. Because they're all part of these secret societies, like they all worship the Baphomet, the transgender goat. Do you know what I mean? A lot of them are just look, right, the Alphabet Gang, LGBTQ+. Right, what do you think that's based on? Right, and I know some people, no need to mention names, but somebody's like, I don't believe what you believe. It's just like, but it's not a belief. You know, I've got 13 years worth of research into this, 9 of which is in research into androgyny. Do you know what I mean? And Luciferian doctrine and knowing their secrets. And let me tell you, I wanted to believe that it wasn't true. And I researched and I challenged all people, because at the time when this was like hit me with this was in 2016, just after I graduated from university. So, oh fucking hell, almost 10 years ago. Or was it? No, it was 2015. No, 2016, 9 years ago, sorry, fucking hell, I'm getting confused there. So it was 2016, just before I graduated from university, that there was a lot of people, right, who were, some who actually worked with them. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, it's about bone structure, it's about anatomy, do you know what I mean? And men and women are built differently, anatomically. And if you don't know what to look for, right, you're not going to see it, because it's all about illusions. These people all work on illusions. It's all like cunning you, tricking the mind. And a lot of these generational transgenders are raised like that from birth. So they put on puberty blockers, right? And then if it's a boy put on puberty blockers, they're fed estrogen. And estrogen, it like makes like, because women have like soft and mushy skin, don't they? And it's nice and soft. And if you're given a prepubescent boy estrogen and switching off the testosterone, well, it's just going to feminize them, isn't it? Just like it does with women. And vice versa. If you put a little girl on puberty blockers to stop them from producing estrogen and start feeding them testosterone, what do you think's going to fucking happen? Like what happens to little boys when they start to turn into puberty? It's just the same fucking thing. And they do this from a young age. And then they become TV and film stars and authors and sports personalities. I'm fucking telling you, like these have been doing this for a long time. A long time. A long time. Right? So, and they know what they're doing. And they're the masters of illusions, just like Lucifer is. Because he's not really powerful. He just gives you the illusion of power. Because at the end of the day, right, Lucifer, before he can do anything with anyone, has to go to the Most High. And he has to present them with what he knows. Because at the end of the day, we're all here to be tested. Between light and dark. Right and wrong. Good or bad. Positive and negative. Duality. Light and dark. Day and night. Sun and moon. Man and woman. But not put together as in one. Like Luciferians do. We're all here to be tested, right? And so I've been tested, just like you've been tested, and everybody who's been involved in this fucking shit that's been going on to try and take me out for not only my inheritance, my ancestral wealth, but for fucking a life insurance policy, which is worth millions of pounds, if not like it could be close to 100 million, right? So apparently people like me and my lineage, you can insure them for that amount. And when you've got corrupt people working in insurance companies, as well as like in finance and fucking law, in health, you know what I mean, in all avenues, in fucking housing, you know what I mean, and they're all part of like fucking secret societies, and you've got that kind of fucking back, and you can make a lot of things happen, and with most people they are successful. right? With most people, they can take out, they can obtain these riches, but we're all being tested, right? I was going off the course there, but we're all here to be tested, right? And these people who are in finance, in health, in law, in media, in television, things like that, right? We're all being tested, and if you're making good or bad choices, you'll either go to the light or the dark side. You'll either go to heaven or hell when you expire in this vessel, right? And depending on how well you look after yourself, depends on how long your life will be. And we're all being tested. I'm being tested. You're being tested. You're all failing the test while I'm acing the test, because I'm making all the right choices. Because I'm not trying to fuck over people and rob from them and steal from them and kill them, place them in false marriages and spread lies about people. You know what I mean? Or being corrupt law officials or corrupt health officials. You know what I mean? I'm nothing like that. I'm just trying to be a good person. I'm just trying to get through my life peacefully, while having to combat against fucking demonic entities who are hell-bent on trying to collect my fucking soul. And before Lucifer can do anything, he has to go to the boss, the big man upstairs, because he's the all-powerful, the supreme being, the Most High God. He's the creator of our world. He's the creator of our universe. And I will say this: time is not on your side. Time is not on your side, even though time's just an illusion. All we have is the present, because time is an illusion, and time is not on your side, and your time has run out, right? Your time has run out, and it's time to pay the piper. And you've all failed your tests. You all chose the dark side, and now it's time to pay the piper. And like I say, you're all heavily under investigation, and pretty soon warrants will be printed off, and they'll be coming out to raid places, arrest you, take you in for questioning, they'll present you with all the evidence that they have, which is overwhelming, and you daft cunts are just going to sit there, that's not me on camera, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, when you like there's clear images of your face, like in graveyards having sex and digging up fucking dead bodies, and you know, things like that. And your time's almost up. But yeah, but it's all interlinked. So like, I will quickly say this. So like, such as my platform on YouTube, they try very hard to suppress me and people like me on YouTube. And there's, like I say, there's people inside. See, because YouTube, Google, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, right? Rumble, they're all cult affiliated, right? They're all controlled by these cults, and you just get someone who's affiliated to suppress the content, and they're trying to suppress me. And so there's this fucking idiot on YouTube, pardon me, on YouTube that they know that's cult affiliated. Like many of the CEOs are cult affiliated, right? They're all into the same shit, right? And they can pay people to suppress things. But like, at the end of the day, right, it may not, my view count may not go up if people are watching my content. It goes up if I watch it, right? But it won't move if somebody else is watching it. And I know people are watching my content because I called out the Ginger Ninja, you know, because she had her face hearty-warty, because I told the truth. Her and her gay lover, Stormin Norman, who likes the strap-ons up his back passage, they had their faces hearty-warty. And Norman's a hacker. He likes to hack into my Instagram and my YouTube and my email accounts, because he's been given information fed from the creepy weirdo from the Ukraine, who's also had their faces hearty-warty. Oh, they've all had their faces hearty-warty. The creepy pedo gang. They've all had their faces hearty-warty. Oh, they're all sad. Oh, tears. Oh. Right? I'll call her out in the last video. Right? And then what does she do? She fucking starts going, like she's got dementia or something like that, like, because they keep doing the same thing. Like, even though I've called them out, even though I know what they're doing, like, you're doing what you do to try to trigger a negative reaction, but I know what you're doing, and so I just take the piss out of you, and I document, and I take pictures, and I post it, because I know I'm being watched, by many, many, many people. Doesn't matter what my view counter says, you all watch what I'm posting and you react to the things that I post and comment on, talk about. And it doesn't matter what fucking YouTube does, right? They could fuck around with the algorithm, right? They could shadow banners. They could fuck around with my views and my what you call it? Well, you know, like like in YouTube Studio where you're checking out all your percentages of who's watching you from which country and all that. Your analytics, like they can fuck around with all that, right? But I know there's people watching my content. I know I'm being seen by many, many people all around the world, by important people, by bad people, by good people, by idiots who live in the same street as me, because they show us because of the way that they react, because they're not intelligent people. Like, how the fuck, Ginger Ninja, did you become a private investigator? It's because you're good at sucking cocks, because you're fucking useless at your job. I mean, you remember when I went up to the nature reserve and you decided to go up and try and sneak up on us to take pictures of us, but I walked right in front of you at the time you were on your burner phone with your fucking long camera lens and your Nikon camera. Pretend you're walking your fucking dogs. You're not like a fucking twitcher. You're not going to take pictures of fucking birds. And given the fact that a year prior to that, you told us you were a private investigator, you told us that my fucking family stole an inheritance from us, you fat ginger bastard. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then they try to follow you around at the nature reserve with a fucking long lens camera, like a paparazzi. Do you know what I mean? Like the fucking paparazzi. Thinking that I'm not going to know what you're doing when you've already told us who you are. So not only are you a shit private investigator, the only reason you probably got that job because you're good at sucking people's knobs. And that's all you're good at because you are a fucking ugly woman. Like, she is a ginger scrubber. Her fanny burns, it smells of rubber. No one wants to fuck her. Her gonorrhea put you on your knees. But you know what I mean? She's a ginger scrubber. Yeah. If you want to become a lyricist, start making funny lyrics to popular songs. And then from there, convert it into your own lyrics when you're writing original tunes. But yeah. That's all you're good for, man. Like, not like fucking hell. Like, you've obviously been convinced that I'm like some kind of fucking dribbling idiot. That it would just be so easy to fucking do me over. Because you thought I was such a fucking pushover. That I was naive and gullible. Because I've got a funny sense of humour. And I like doing accents. And I like being funny. I like being happy. I like making people happy. Because you're all miserable fucking dozy cunts. You think that you're more superior. Like, look, right. Do you actually think that I'm going to be fucking defeated by a bunch of fucking pedos and closet gays who lie throughout the whole life? That have come and teamed together. Some of you don't, none of you, I take that back, none of you know who I am. So-called fucking friends, ex-best friends, ex-friends, family, like none of you know who the fuck I am. You've like sat with the image that you've projected, right, onto me, an identity that's basically your own identity that you're trying to project onto other people. And when like I don't react or don't behave or don't do anything like you fucking said that I would do, it just makes you look like you're a fucking idiot. And that's because you are a fucking idiot, because you don't know us. You've never spent any fucking time whatsoever to get to know us. And with the people that I have spent time with, you've had your fucking head so far up your own fucking ass that you haven't been, you just paid me no mind. Paid me no attention, because you're two self-absorbed individuals. Like, you're all fucking narcissists. You're all wrapped in your fucking selves. Right? It's all you. The me attitude. Right? And then you've convinced yourself that you know a person and you fucking don't. Because you're too self-involved and wrapped in your own fucking personality that you think the world revolves around you. Right? And you've just made yourself the fucking laughingstock of your community. Because you've made all these big and bold claims about what you're going to do and how I'm going to react. Even coached people on a fucking fallacy. on an identity that never existed or hadn't existed for a long time, because you're stuck in a fucking decade where I no longer live, because I grew up, I matured, and I moved on, and I got educated, and I wanted to strive to better myself and move forward in life, and my fucking forward progression has been hampered by the likes of you jealous bastards who are stuck and stagnant and have never learned and have never progressed and have just cheated your way through fucking life and never gained any wisdom or knowledge that can actually help you to move forward. You just want to get to the finish line, and you're prepared to fucking get in a fucking helicopter and fly you there rather than go through the fucking assault course of life that teaches you through trials and tribulations of how to become a better person, of how not to repeat things of the past, of how to improve your personality, and how to improve your outlook, your attitude, your reaction with people's. Instead, you're stuck in a child mentality of some traumatic event that you've never healed from way back in the past, and you've been stuck there, and you will not do the fucking work to help you get out of that funk, to get out of that lull. You won't heal your heart, you won't heal your childhood fucking traumas that's fucking made you the person you are today. Fucking useless, because you're too fucking lazy to do the work yourself, and you think you can just piggyback on other people who fucking put the work in and strive to become better people, to learn to be better people, to not repeat the same mistakes as what they made when they were younger, to move on from that, to leave the past in the past because that's where it belongs, and to become a better person for the future so you can do and be better. But you won't do that. You just want to sit and fucking blame the world for all your problems that you create and that you're never accountable for, and you just expect everybody else to bail you out of the fucking shit you dragged yourself into. And on that bombshell, I think I'll leave it there for now, but I'll be back for another one. I said I was going to make a short one, it's fucking anything but short, but I'll be back for another one at some point, and I'll see you later.